Jumping jewelry is easier to make than you think. It's the ultimate blend of effortless and trendy, with really no experience required. It's just a few simple twists and loops. Hi, I'm Patty, a jewelry designer here at Fire Mountain Gems and Beads. Let's take a look at how to make these beautiful jump ring earrings.
Get our email newsletter for beading news, sale announcements, new product announcements, and more. Link is in the description below.
These jump ring earrings are vibrant and they look impressive. And the best thing about them, they're a snap to make. They don't need many tools, and jump rings come in a vast array of colors, sizes, and gauges. So whatever project that you need, you can find the jump ring for it. We're using aluminum jump rings today because the anodization process of aluminum gives us these vibrant, beautiful colors. So we've got the blue and the green and the gold and the silver. And there are unlimited ways to use these. Since we're talking about jump ring jewelry, we have to talk about chainmail. Chainmail, sometimes called mail, is a process of interlocking jump rings. It was first used way back in the 4th century BC to create armor. But since then, we've borrowed that process in jewelry. Chainmail has gone from battle to beautiful. These earrings are simple to make, but they actually look kind of complex. In the center here, we have a kind of a twist of jump rings that looks really impressive, but it's so simple to do. I'm going to show you how to do that first, and then we'll build the earrings out from there. So I'm going to start with 4 jump rings, and I've already opened them. So I really suggest pre-opening a bunch of jump rings before you start. That way it's easier. You can just pick them up and work. If you have to open them each time you pick one up, it takes a long time. So I like to kind of compartmentalize that. So we've got a gold, a silver, a blue, and a green. So I'm going to show you how to twist these together. It's really fun. So I'm using flat nose pliers that are dipped in Tool Magic. And these are a great tool to use. You can also use chain nose. I like the flat nose for these big jump rings because you have a lot of purchase there, a lot of area that you can grab the jump ring with. If you don't have Tool Magic, you could use a nylon jaw plier like this, but I really prefer this for the precision of the tip. Okay, so let's pick up one jump ring. I'm going to start with a green one. And you want to get lots of purchase on the jump ring on one side and the other side kind of near the tips, but not at the tips, so you can see what's happening. And you're just going to close it up. Now, when I close a jump ring, this is important. I kind of overlap it so the tips hit and then kind of rock it back and forth to make sure I have a nice seat there. And before I put this down, I'm going to look at it from different angles and make sure that it is actually closed, because sometimes your perception from one angle is not the same as another angle. So there we have one that is closed. Then I'm going to pick up another one. Really doesn't matter what order. And we're just going to close it through the first one. Rock it back and forth. Okay, now I'm going to set that down. So they're kind of together like that, so there's a big hole in the middle. Then I'm going to grab another one, and I'm going to put it through both jump rings. Okay, now I'm going to close that up. Oh, see, from that angle, it's not quite closed, so I got to look from here too. So make sure and inspect them really well. A nice closed jump ring is really pretty. A little bit open one isn't so pretty. And it's also not very secure. Okay, last one. They go through all 3, right? You got that big hole in the middle. And all 3 jump rings are through the last one. And I'm closing that up. Oh, not quite closed. There we go. That's a really nice connection. And so I'm going to set it down for the next part of the process. If I put my pliers in the middle, sometimes that helps create the space. So we've got this really cool twist going on. I think this one's flipped around. There we go. You see how they just kind of flow around almost like a flower. So pretty. So that's the center of our earring here. We're going to go down and up from there. Down is 2 gold mediums. So I'm going to grab 2 of those and put them through all of the jump rings to make sure it goes through the center correctly. So make sure it looks like a flower. If one of them flips, it won't look like a flower. There we go. There we have our flower. And I'm going to take kind of the near the tip of the jump ring, so there's lots of space there. And we want all of those to go through this gold one, just like that. And if you're doing this at home, it goes much quicker. I'm explaining, so it takes a bit longer. Close that up. Okay, and then we take another gold one. There are 2 golds on the bottom there. And we're going to go through all those jump rings again, but we are not going through the gold one that's already present. So go through all of those. And the dip pliers are really important for aluminum like this that's anodized with this coloring. If you're using undipped pliers, it would mar up the color. Now that we have our little flower twist with the 2 gold jump rings on the bottom, we're going to add the 2 silver jump rings in the top of that little flower twist. So I'm going to grab 2 silvers, and we're going to go through all of the jump rings in the flower twist, but not the gold ones that we just applied. So this is a little bit narrow for doing this. I'm going to open that a little bit more. You can see about the length that you need to have between the tips. And I'm just going to go through the original 4 jump rings. Whoops, I dropped it. That's okay. Make sure everything looks right before you close it, and it does. Then I'll just close it up. That looks good. Then I'm going to add a second silver right next to the first silver. That's opened nicely. Go through all 4, but none of the other silver or gold. Okay, so now when we lay it out, and jump rings are, when you're making jump ring jewelry, they're kind of floppy. So don't expect it to look perfect until you hang it. But you just have to make sure the pattern looks right, and that pattern looks correct. The next thing we'll do is add these bottom green jump rings. They're large ones. Get those, they're easy to pick up with my fingers. And we're going to attach those to the gold jump rings here at the bottom. Just through the 2 gold ones. And then close that up. Not quite closed. There we go. And add another green right next to the first green through the 2 gold. Make sure you're not going through the other green one. The great thing about chainmail or jump ring jewelry, it's really easy to fix mistakes. If you have one that's in the wrong place, just take it out and replace it. Okay, so now we've got this pattern going. Let's put our silvers up there where they belong. That is looking great. The next thing we have down here at the bottom is a small blue jump ring here. And we have a couple of scales. These are so fun, and these come in all the varieties of colors as well, and they coordinate great with the jump rings. So I've got my scales here. I'm going to pick out 2 blue. Make sure that they look nice. Okay. And you want to take a little care with the colored ones. They're easy to scratch, so store them in a way that they'll stay safe. And just inspect them before you use them. Those look really good. Okay, so we're going to take 1 blue scale and 1 silver scale. Come down here. There we go. And they're going to go through this blue jump ring, the little one. So I'm going to put the big one on first because it's easy. It's got a big hole. And then we'll put the little silver one on. It's got a little hole, but the silver one, once it's hanging, will actually hide the hole in the large one. It's kind of nice. And then we're going to attach that through both of the greens. There's no front or back, so don't worry about having to orient it one way or another. Not right now. Okay, nice and closed. The smaller jump rings take really extra care because they are so small, it's hard to see the opening. That is looking so good. We've got the whole bottom and part of the top done. So the only thing left to do is to add these 2 little greens and the ear wire, and then we have earrings. So let's grab 2 of the small greens and one of these great little ear wires. I love this ear wire. It's so easy to use. I'll show you in a minute. And let's go ahead and pick up the green and go through both of the silver, but none of the other ones. And close that nicely with care. And then we'll grab one more. And that goes through both silvers. Make sure you don't go through that original green there. Close that up. And then it's easy to make it lay out if you hang it from the scale so you can see what's going on and where you want to put your ear wire. So there we have that whole pattern. That was so easy to do. And then you just take this little ear wire and you kind of bend the loop sideways just a little bit. And both greens at the top are going to go through that. Oop, I missed one. There we go. And then just close it up. Make sure it's closed up nice and snug where this ball is hitting the ear wire, and that will stay really well. And there you have your gorgeous jump ring earring. Now that you've learned how easy it is to make jump ring jewelry, I hope you love making your own. And if you do, please post it and tag us. We would love to see what you make. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and sign up for our email newsletter. Links to that and to the products in this earring are in the description box below. See you next time.